is a native of Orava. He had a classical education from the Prague Academy of Arts. In his student years he did mostly graphics and illustrations. Later, he started to paint portraits. They were mostly portraits of his relatives and friends. Perhaps he would have continued to do so if he hadn't met Udovitya. Bo joined the Tatrin Association. He helped Tia. He prepared poster designs or other visual artifacts. He was one of the first politically engaged artists in our country. The portrait of Jan Francisci, who was a poet, a publicist but mainly a politician and a collaborator of Udovitya, comes from a few finished paintings documenting the revolutionary season in our country around 1848. Jan Francisci as a captain of Slovak volunteers. Jan Francisci's portrait in the captain's uniform of the commander of Slovak volunteers is a classic academic portrait from the first half of the 19th century. It is important most likely because it expresses national ethos. It became a symbol of revolutionary events. It was during the period of Romanticism in Slovakia. The early period of the Romantic era was a time of war, with the French Revolution, 1789–1799. Its ideas fraternite, egalität, liberté spread out to other countries in Europe. Romanticism was associated with multiple processes, including social and political changes. Romanticism also assigned a high value to the achievements of heroic individualists and artists. They tried to raise the quality of society. The authors put emphasis on emotion and individualism as well as glorification of all the past and nature. Heroes are usually alone, surrounded by nature. Cloudy sky in this painting indicated a dramatic atmosphere of approaching the storm. The storm is metaphorically portrayed as the storm of revolution and emotions of the hero. Patriotism also became a focal point for many Romantic artists. The portrait is divided into 3 plans. In the first plan, the foreground Francisci is portrayed as a hero. He is wearing a blue coat, white trousers, black boots and a hat with white feather. He is handing a weapon and on the belt he has 2 other guns and sword on his left side. Behind him we can see an encampment with Slovak uprising volunteers who are wearing the same outfit. The encampment is on the right side of the second plan, the middle ground. There are peaks of the Tatras in the background, probably Kriv, Konisk and Jelak peaks. This is a classic academic portrait of the 19th century. Composition is probably from visiting the similar encampment. It is for the first time that the Tatras are the embodiment of the Slovak people living in multinational Austrian Empire and the symbol of Slovak national uprising. Bo portrayed Jan Francisci with similar composition as we know, for example, from Austria, where Archduke Johann was portrayed in a similar pose in front of the Austrian Alps. This portrait was created around 1830. Bo could know this composition through graphics. Francisci's portrait was probably created shortly after the revolution. To say that this painting is the culmination of Bo's work wouldn't be quite accurate. It definitely belongs to the most valuable paintings because there aren't many paintings that represent this important historical period. The second important painting from this season is the meeting of Slovak people in spring 1848, but Bo didn't finish it. A photo was much faster and cheaper than painting, so it started to be used.